Hello and welcome. Today we're going to look at the HC629 Wisdom Drone from Bao Niu. Courtesy of GearBest.com, where you could find other neat quadcopters just like this one. This is an altitude hold drone with Wi-Fi FPV streaming and has a very cool looking design, so let's check it out. Now the drone comes in this rectangular white box that shows the drone clearly and says barometer set height, which is the altitude hold. It says wisdom on the side. It shows it compacted or folded in the back, along with FPV real-time mobile device with the transmitter in the back of the box. So let's check it out. Let's open it up here. Pull this out. So here's some manuals and stuff. Let's organize all this. So here's everything once it's out of the box. Of course, you have the quadcopter. You have a USB charger, a 3.7 volt 600 milliamp LiPo battery, 4 half spare propellers, a screwdriver, the transmitter, a mobile device clip, and the instruction manuals. So taking a closer look at the HC629 Wisdom drone from Bao Niu, this bears a very strong resemblance to the DJI Mavic with its foldable design and grayish, light bluish color. It's very cool looking. Here's its battery bay. It has rubbery bottoms there, so it could have a comfortable landing. Here is the camera here. Now this camera, it may be an SD quality camera, so we'll look at that right now. But here's the Wisdom logo here. Here's your on-off button. And overall, a very neat design, a good size to it, and a decent weight, not too heavy, not too light, a little on the light side, which is good for, for being such a big quadcopter. It definitely does a good job at being very light. So very cool. And here's how it looks when it's folded. Essentially, you fold the front legs first, so you would fold that, and they just kind of snap into place, and you have to make sure that the propellers go in a certain direction. And then you would do those and bring the propellers in, and then you would bring the front one here like so, and then this one in like that. And so this is more or less how it looks when it's all folded up. So very cool design. And another thing I forgot to mention about the camera is that it is tiltable, virtually 90 degrees tiltable. So that is very cool. And it has a good field of view there. It has 2 lights there in the front, making it real visible and good for orientation. There's also lights here on the bottoms of the legs. So very neat quadcopter, and overall just super cool. But very cool design. There is no slot for an SD card, and all the recording of the video is done through the app and is saved on the mobile device. So very neat there. Let's take a look at the transmitter now. The transmitter requires just a small installation there of the clip. Slide it in, very easy, and then you can put the cellular or mobile device there at the top. And the controls. Now, briefly going over the transmitter, it does take 4 AAA batteries, like so. So 4 AAA batteries, and you have to screw it and unscrew it to access them. Now going over the controls a bit. Basically, this is your throttle stick, rudder stick. This is your on-off button, and this little light indicator shows if it's on or off. These are your directional trims. This button right here is headless mode, and if you long press it, it will do a one key return. This one right here, if you short press it, it does an emergency shut off. So the copter will fall from whichever altitude it's at, because all the motors will shut off. If you long press it while it's on a flat level surface, preferably on the ground, it will do a gyro calibration. This is one key takeoff and one key land. This one right here is to make the drone do a spin. It just does a spinning cyclone, and then you press it again and it'll stop yawing. So that's all it does. It just keeps yawing. This button right here is your stunt flips. So you press it and then you move the directional joystick in any direction and it will do a flip in that direction. And then last but not least, this is your rate button. So if you have 3 rates of speed, 1 beep, 2 beeps, and 3 beeps, and the quadcopter will adjust its tilt and move at a faster rate. So that's essentially it. We'll look at a first time setup and flight and check it out. Getting this ready for its first flight, we first load a fully charged battery into it, and I just want to briefly go over the battery. This is a 3.7 volt, 600 milliamp LiPo battery, and it gives it about a 10-minute flight time, maybe a little less, maybe 8 minutes, for about an hour and 15, hour and a half charge. So we're going to pop that in now here in the bottom bay. Just connect it like so. There, nice and connected. So we'll just close that. So that's all set. So that's all set there. And next we will turn it on. And we will turn on the transmitter. And you've got to bind the transmitter. So you put up and down on the throttle. So now it's bound. And now the very last step, well, one quick step before takeoff is we will calibrate the gyros. You can either do that by long pressing this button or by putting the throttle and rudder to the lower center, like so. Right? And in fact, putting the throttle to the lower center would also do an emergency shut off. So it essentially has the same functionality as this button right there. So now everything's been calibrated, bound, charged, ready to go. We're just going to review the app and make sure that's set up before our first flight. So let's check that out. So first you would enter your mobile device Wi-Fi settings, and you would find here an entry for HTUFO. So you would connect to that, and there's no default Wi-Fi password or anything to that effect. Once it's connected, you would enter its app, and the app is this one right here, HTJR-UFO, and it's available in the Android and iOS app stores, and it has that blue icon. So once you enter into that, you will see this screen right here. Then, of course, you have some quality settings here and some help files there to explain how to use the app. But primarily, you just want to hit play here to get the Wi-Fi feed. So once you do that, you'll notice that we have right now our Wi-Fi feed. And it looks good. And the controls are pretty standard for this kind of app. This button here will take you back to the main menu. This one will take a picture. This one will do a video. This one right here will access your album, so you can see your previously taken videos and pictures. These are your rates if you decide to fly this with the cell phone. And by the way, you can fly this without using the transmitter, just using the mobile device. So that is a plus if you decide to go that route. This would be your altitude hold if you use the app. This is your accelerometer state. So you could actually fly this by tilting the phone and it will turn into that direction. So that's very cool. Here are your virtual controls if you want to turn them on or off. So right now I put altitude hold, and you've got your auto takeoff, auto land, emergency stop. You've got this waypoint draw. So if you do that, you can draw a path for the direction and it will fly in that direction. This will be your 360 flips. This, I believe, will allow you to do voice commands, and you can actually tell it to go forward, left, or right, and it will follow them. And then last but not least, you have these settings here, and we'll just turn off the virtual controls to see them better. This will flip your camera view, this one right here, reverse. And this one will split your screen so that you can see them in FPV goggles. This will calibrate the gyros, this one down here. And this will, I believe, put it in headless mode. So that's essentially it for the app. This is not a GPS quadcopter that has telemetry or anything like that. It doesn't have optical flow. It doesn't have brushless motors. But it does have altitude hold and Wi-Fi FPV streaming. And it's very fun to fly. So we're going to take this out for a little flight and check it out.
homage beat.